See if I'm live.
Yeah, or we live.
We're about to find out. We're live. The colors look a little different, but thought I uploaded the thumbnail. Hack Jeff. Let's go. Oh, wait, I'm gonna share your screen. I don't know why the thumbnail didn't work. Didn't upload for some reason. Yeah. It's always... Wait. What am I trying to say? This is my prank. See, I didn't take the pledge, so it's fine. I'm allowed to listen to this and enjoy it. Can't hear anything with the music. Yeah, listen, we were just playing it a little too loud. Can you hear me now? Because I really don't know how the volume is. Too loud. Okay. Well, it's over now. Okay.
Alright.
So my normal speaking voice is good, right? I just gotta know that mainly. Would you be interested in a sponsor with YoPlate to make yogurt? I don't really like yogurt, so well, actually no, I would because money.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, get in on that. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta get your stuff.
So, okay, good. If there's ever any like audio problems, just let me know because I did test things. Mostly what we're gonna probably be doing is watching some old row reviews videos. Reese just asked that question, what are you doing on stream? We're just gonna chill, look back on past 5 years, I guess, kind of what got me to this point, and probably watch some old row reviews videos
All the way back to the beginning.
all the way back. I mean, yeah, for yeah, we can probably watch my first video as much as I don't want to. We probably can. Can we watch some classic row update videos? Maybe. I kind of just want to stick to the classic reviews, you know. Now, I would really like to. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Huh? I just want to update the thumbnail because I made a nice little thumbnail, but I want to. Um. Really upload it this time. Father of all review rewatch. Maybe. I haven't watched that video in forever. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
The Green Day review?
Yeah, Green Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the thumbnail? It didn't upload. Okay. Uploading. Save. We'll just leave it there. So, anyway, I would like to introduce my guest. Can I say your name? Your actual name?
Yeah.
My friend Josue, he drew the artwork in the most recent row review, all of the little black and white illustrations you saw to illustrate old events that I couldn't actually show. He drew those and he did a great job. So, W's in the chat for this guy. Okay. Yeah, you've been around. Well, I've known you for years, but you've been around ever since I started the channel.
Yeah, that was all the way. What grade was that? Dang. High school, right?
10th grade. 10th grade.
grade.
Spring of 10th grade. Jeff said the art was great. I also got a good comment from one of my patrons.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. W from Jeff, W from Naomi. So yeah. I started 10th grade, spring break. I remember that's what I was working on that year. And yeah, Star Tropics.
Star Tropics.
Star Tropics. Video. I don't have much of a reason why that was like my first video necessarily. I just saw other people reviewing it.
Was that because you recently played it?
No, so my actual first video, I don't know how many of you guys actually know this.
Some lore.
Is actually wait, I do talk about it in my first anniversary video. My first video was going to be about show is here. What's up? My first video was going to be about Sonic Adventure, right? And because you wanted to be Nitro Red so bad. Yes. Actually, yes. We could talk about some influences soon, but yeah, I saw like Ant Dude reviewed it, Nitro Red reviewed it. There were some videos about it, and aside from that, my first video was going to be on Sonic Adventure, but the script was really long and boring and terrible, so I quit. So I scrapped that, and then I was like, well, what's a simple game I can review? Star Tropics. So I played it for the video, and I mean, it's one of my favorite NES games at this point, really. And so I'm glad I played. I'm glad I made the video, but outside of that, there wasn't much of a reason. I don't know what my other options are. Maybe Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island was going to be my second video, but then I was like, I want to review the Sonic games, so then I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, I forget how long Star Tropics took. This beanie is really hot, but man, it's like, how warm is it? Well, it's probably cooled off now, but it was like 80 degrees today in Florida, like 84 degrees.
Yeah, it was hot outside.
It was hot. Nitro Row or Nitro? Let's go with Nitro Row. I think that sounds better. So yeah, early row reviews was very much a uh Nitro Rad Ant Dude
Mm-hmm.
rip off thing. Um Apologies for my, actually that's not that bad. No, that's pretty bad. Anyway, it's hot, okay? It's hot, guys. Um but yeah. Yeah, early Row was very much Nitro Rad Ant Dude rip off type beat. And then I just well, like I watched Liam Triforce at the time, but I didn't have like the skill to, you know, make what he does. So that was like a subtle influence. Um, but yeah, a lot of those older review guys, big influence at the time. But even like Scott the Woz as well,
Mm-hmm.
around that time. Um, my very first um, like conception of the channel was going to be like a classic game room ripoff. As, as, as some of y'all might know them, but they were like a old school review channel, and I kind of wanted to do that at first, but then I just like I found Antude's videos and I was like, oh, I can do this, and so I did. She row on my reviews, good. Um, but yeah, that was kind of the start of it. I mean, I kind of wanted to make videos for a long time, but it wasn't until I started watching Ant Dude where I was like, hey, I can do this now instead of waiting. So that's what kind of pushed me to um, do it when I did.
Yeah.
Watch CGR all the time when I was 13. Yeah, I watched Classic Game Room for a long time, or at least I found them in like 6th grade, and I would watch them a lot, and then I rediscovered them in like 9th grade,
Mm.
which was the year before I started the channel. Reese also says, I still need to finish Star Tropics, but I really enjoyed what I played. Yeah, like in terms of NES games, like I'm not a huge fan of the NES necessarily, but um Star Tropics, Mother 1, and probably Mario 3 are like the 3 best like original Nintendo games, I would say. Yeah. But yeah, big 1K, pretty wild stuff.
1K.
1K. 5 years. Star Tropics is so good you forget you're playing an NES game. Yeah, like aside from like the I don't there's regular saves, but towards the end it can get pretty difficult. Like it can start to have that kind of bullshit like Nintendo like difficulty spike a bit towards the end, but it plays pretty well for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like still like I would say it holds up pretty well. It probably holds up better than Mother 1. I just played like I just kind of like the atmosphere of Mother 1 a little more, the vibe of it. But yeah. Have you ever played Mr. Bones for the Sega Saturn? No, I haven't played a lot of Sega Saturn games. I played the Sega Saturn once with a friend at Too Many Games, and we played on a portable DVD player, and I played I think Virtual Fighter, Sonic 3D Blast. We might have played Knights. So that's about the extent of my Saturn gaming adventures. Good stuff. But yeah, then I decided, hey, decided to review the classic Sonic games, and that's what I did over the summer, going into 11th grade. I reviewed Sonic 1 through 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And when did you start reviewing?
I don't think the mic is picking you up.
Oh, it's not picking me up.
Yeah.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Let me know if you can hear this man. But yeah, I reviewed Sonic 1 through 3. I never actually reviewed Adventure. So, yeah. Hey, you also reviewed Detective Pikachu the movie. We don't talk about
that's the one. That's the one.
Didn't we see that? Didn't, bro? We played a Weezer CD. Yes, we did. Oh yeah. Well, we played games and then we listened to Weezer, Ratitude. But yeah. Sonic 1 through 3, and then let's just pull it up here.
Yeah, cause I'm having a.
2 viewers, incredible. Yeah. Oh, man, it's like a real live stream, man. It's crazy. I can turn this down a bit. Let me know if the audio is still good. I changed a little something. But yeah, Star Tropics, Detective Pikachu, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic CD, Sonic 2, Sonic CD, Lego Racers.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was.
I think your Lego Racers video was the first I watched, either that or Sonic Pocket Adventure.
Yeah, Sonic Pocket Adventure. That was the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was like a bit of a side quest.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then of course Green Day. We might watch. We might. I really don't want to. I really don't. Let's see. Yeah, Sonic Pocket Adventure, and then season 1 ended with Mario 64, which was my best at the time. Yeah. And then kept going from there. Now we've reached 1K.
50 videos.
Oh yeah. I mean, I probably have more that are unlisted, like update videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But outside of that, 50, yeah. Very interesting.
Then. Watcher.
Okay. Let's.
Yeah, because we gotta go into React mode. Maybe?
React mode.
React mode.
React Gate. Alright, let me pull up the very first video. You know, out of curiosity, what was your guys' first row review? Because Reese said Lego Racers, but I'm not sure what it's like for the rest of you. I feel like it might be like around Sonic 3. I feel like y'all kind of came in, but I'm not really sure. Maybe later. Maybe around the Green Day video. Do I still have
the original
file?
Oh.
Yep. I already hate myself.
supposed to be that quality, or?
Oh yeah, my first video is in like 720p. Mm.
Many video game companies have forgotten about and abandoned.
That Mega Man 8 music, yes it was. Okay, so you can hear it, that's good.
Many video game companies have forgotten about.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
react mode. Let's go. Full screen? Full screen. Okay, there we go. Let me know how the volume is, because I really have no idea.
Many video game companies have forgotten about and abandoned their past franchises over the years. Sega is especially guilty of this with their old Genesis titles. However, Sega isn't the only one to neglect past franchises. Nintendo has done it as well, and one of those forgotten games is Star Tropics. Not many people remember or know about this game at all, and to tell you the truth, I didn't know what it was until last year or so.
Last year.
This is my first time playing this. Now, one interesting thing about this game is that while it was developed in Japan, it was made specifically for American audiences, and was only released in America and eventually Europe. The game follows a boy named Micah Jones.
This sucks.
No, but you know the editing is
I mean,
One
it's
day, Micah
okay,
sends a
but
letter
like,
from his
I've
uncle
I
seen
don't-
worse, man.
to visit a place called Sea Island. However, upon arriving, he soon finds
I
out
think
that
it's
his uncle
simple, but you know, it
and
gets
so
the point
Micah
across.
sets
yeah,
out to
it's okay.
It's a simple plot, but it works, and it's good enough for me. This is an NES game after all, so you can't expect too much.
It was a mumbling so
But the
bad.
game's split into two separate styles, overworld exploration and dungeons. Let's start with the overworld stuff. These are pretty reminiscent of older RPGs
The
like
long
Final
pause.
Fantasy and Dragon Quest, just without the random encounters. You'll go from island to island, visiting different villages and talking to the locals, amongst other things.
It's not bad.
And each island has something new going on to keep things interesting. On one island will have you waking up someone's daughter from a never-ending sleep, and another has you cross-dressing to get into a women's-only castle.
I don't agree with this joke. I didn't make this joke. I just repeated it. So, bear with me here.
Cross-dressing in a Nintendo game. 10 out of 10.
Okay, you could barely hear it.
Overall, I enjoyed exploring these islands a lot.
It could
and
be
along
way
with
more
exploring
cringe,
islands,
trust me,
you
bro.
can
I mean,
also ride
yeah,
a submarine
like,
and go across waters to find new islands.
some of my fellow creators here, y'all have had some worse first videos, I'll be honest. Like, a lot of the issue that a lot of us had that I kind of sidestepped was the showing what I'm talking about on screen, which some of y'all weren't doing. So, yeah.
Now, don't expect weaker levels of sea exploration because it's very limited. But it's cool that it's
This the audio
Oh,
edit
for some
here.
reason,
what
all
do you-
the-
what
but
did you
it's
say
but
there?
it, because it's very limited.
Oh, limited. I don't know what was up with that audio cut. It's crazy. Like, listen to it.
Weaker levels of sea exploration because it's very limited. But it's cool that it's here. Oh, and for some reason, all the villages' names end in the word cola. I guess that's to reference America's unhealthy obsession with soda. The game also has a
Cola.
pretty good sense of humor, and it doesn't take itself seriously at all. And while it's not as witty or funny as one of the it still has a lot of charm, and
Yeah.
that helps. in
But I understand
separating
feeling
itself
embarrassed
from
by little
other
corrections.
adventure
Okay,
games from the time.
here's the thing about that. I'm actually okay. This video is bad, but I'm actually less embarrassed by this one than I am my old Sonic reviews. Those are terrible. They're really bad. They're really bad. Like, we'll get to it after this one.
And there were quite a few lines in the game that got a laugh out of me. One of
Great
the very
music in
unique
the game.
thing
I
about
love this, the Star
is how it
Tropics
breaks the
soundtrack.
fourth wall. At one point in the game, you are told to dip your uncle's letter in water.
Hey, this is
But there
really
isn't
cool.
a letter in
Actually,
the game.
I have Star Tropics up there
Yeah.
if you want to get it. So I actually have this. I got it Too Many Games, signed by, or I had Ant Dude sign it. So I like having this because, you know, first game I reviewed, guy who inspired me to do it. So
Yeah.
this is a very cool thing that I have. But I actually have this piece of paper.
Itself. The original game came with a physical copy of that letter, and you would actually dip the letter in water to reveal a code that you would use in the game. Now that's pretty cool, and I've never seen another game do anything like that.
I've never seen it do
now
anything
time
like
to
that.
Talk about the real meat of Star
Ugh.
Tropics, the dungeons.
I recorded this on my iPhone SE.
Really?
I think I might have. I remember what I did. I was sitting at my old desk in the same room, but I had my GameCube. I put it on my desk, and then I put my phone on the GameCube facing me, and I did this narration.
These were directly inspired by Legend of Zelda, as you could probably tell. In these, you battle enemies, solve puzzles, gather weapons, and defeat bosses. Now I decided to play a little bit of the original Zelda to see what it's like. And I'd honestly say that Star Tropics dungeons are better than Zelda's.
They're better.
One thing you'll notice immediately about these dungeons is how Mike controls.
Oh,
If you tap a direction on the D-pad, Mike won't actually move in that direction, he'll just face that direction. So you have to press and hold the D-pad a bit longer in order to actually move. This definitely takes some getting used to, but it actually works in the game's favor since you can
We
face
fell off,
the
man.
direction of an enemy and attack them without running into them.
well,
Speaking of attacks,
you know,
Mike's main weapon
streaming
is
is
yo-yo.
hard though.
Like I said, this game doesn't take itself seriously. You can also get other items in the dungeons such as baseball bats, torches, and more. However, all these secondary
This
weapons
is
have
audio,
limited
bro.
ammo, so you can also get other items in the dungeons such as baseball bats, torches, and more.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it goes torches. It's ridiculous.
However, all these secondary weapons have limited ammo, so you have to be careful. One common thing you'll see in these dungeons are blocks. Lots and lots of blocks. You'll navigate through dungeons on blocks, activate switches on blocks, and attack enemies on blocks. Overall, these dungeons are pretty fun and satisfying to go through, and there's a healthy variety of enemies and challenges in them. But it's not without its flaws. See, Star Tropics is hard. Very
I'm hard.
hard. Now, there's not much wrong with hard games, and that's coming from a kid who's freshman. One is great. But Star Tropics can
One time someone described Star Tropics as Black Panther for dudes who say, "Oh my highly."
be
Yeah.
downright frustrating. Some of the enemies and obstacles in this game are ridiculous. Some are invisible, some take a lot of hits, some shoot at you a
I
whole
think you
bunch,
just suck.
and
Bro.
some could kill you instantly.
Kill you
All
instantly.
this is made worse by the
Dude, I
controls.
hate myself.
Now, I know I said the controls work well, and they do, for the most part. Because of that weird delay when turning the move, it's fine recursion. It was really tough position. But luckily, he's saved by a dolphin that he rescued earlier in the game.
Well, you're bored of your own.
The
I'm bored of
islanders
my
end
own.
up
This
offering
sucks.
them a place to stay, thus
It's not even
saving
that.
the
It's
Star
not even that funny, really.
Overall, I think Star Tropics
Yeah, I will say, like,
is pretty
it's,
good.
I guess it's
It has plenty
lacking
of
a little bit
issues,
of
but
charm, you know.
none of them are
but-
so.
Okay, you say that, but wait until we get to the Sonic videos. Those are embarrassing.
bad to where it makes the whole game unplayable. It's a hard game for sure, Dave states it. But at that point, it's a shame that Nintendo has left this series
It's a
behind.
real shame.
It did receive a sequel in 1994 for the NES, but at that point, no one cared about the NES anymore. It was basically doomed for failure.
Doomed for failure.
I really would like to see a remake of this game, just so it can regain
These are
some
brilliant.
interest from people. Or maybe an assist trophy in Smash Bros. I don't know, just something
I don't know.
to give this game some recognition. Although I'm at least glad that Nintendo has re-released this game several times.
Yeah,
over
I mean,
the
this is a
years,
fair thing.
so I and many others can experience this forgotten classic.
See, this screen makes me feel some type of way. It makes me feel kind of sentimental because it's like I just finished my first video, got this soft music, this humble little screen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but you know, shit got me feeling a little sentimental. You know, shit got me feeling like this video holds a bit of a sentimental value for me because it was my first one. You know, but outside of that, it's yeah. See, I did that thing where I titled the video Star Tropics, a forgotten classic, and then at the end I ended it with saying forgotten classic, so it wraps back up. I was really like on some like writing shit, you know? Yeah, so cool, bro. I hear my dog. We should let him in here.
Oh yeah, maybe you can.
Maybe he can make a guest appearance. That would drive up viewership. Actually.
Should I?
Yeah. See if he'll come in here. So how are you guys doing?
Well, no, I don't see him.
You don't see him? Okay, you can shut the door back. He's ignoring me. Maybe he'll show up later. But yeah. Video's okay. Like, I get why some of y'all think it's like not that bad. It's some of my acquaintances have had some worse videos. Or some worse first videos. I'll say that much. Now, this is going to be painful. I can already tell you.
Before
Ugh. All right. Now it's time for some Sonic 1. I be careful there.
You got PTSD now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had a bit of a wardrobe malfunction beforehand.
Yeah, luckily it didn't happen on stream, you know. Like,
Just yeah, that'd be pretty embarrassing. But yeah, I was wearing like I had this nice striped shirt on, and then you know we were sitting down to eat, and I opened my bottle of cherry Coke, and it fizzed up and sprayed all over me. So I had to change into this Anthony Fantano ass flannel. Yeah. So, Sonic 1. I despise this video. I think it's horrible. And yeah, let's watch it. Scoot up a bit.
oh yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, so.
Yeah.
I mean.
Before 1991, platformers were pretty standard. You had your Marios, your Mega Mans, your Castlevanias, and so on. But then, Sonic the Hedgehog rolls around, and he undoubtedly changed the genre as we know
I
it.
hate the
He
way
brought
I
so many-
talk in this video. Like, okay, context time. When I made the Star Tropics video, I showed all my buddies in school, right? And they're all like, yeah, this video's cool, but you sound dead, or you sound tired, or you sound unenthusiastic. You gotta be more animated. And I'm like, okay, so I practiced that a bit. And the result was me talking like this. Sonic the Hedgehog is a game from 1991, and it shook the video game industry took the video game industry by storm. That's how I talked in this video. It's awful. It's awful.
New mechanics to the table that ended up seeping
Man, we got
into other
zero
games in the
viewers.
genre. He gave Sega a mascot to rival Mario and made a name for the company. The game sold insanely well and became the killer app for the Genesis.
Killer app
Sonic
for
was
the
cool and
Genesis.
had an
See what I'm talking
attitude that
about?
other video game characters didn't have. He ended up getting cartoons
it's not-
and toys.
it's
Heck,
not
he was even
as
in a Cheerios
obnoxious
commercial
as
for
it
some reason. Sonic became one of the most
Alright.
recognizable icons in the 90s.
Sometime.
At least, that's what I've gathered. I didn't grow up in the 90s.
No!
I wish I did, though.
Wait. No. Oh, I wish people were watching this right now. We got 0 viewers right now. People count on me for this line still. It's so bad. It's so bad. I think I've heard these talking points a billion times on YouTube. Exactly. I was just ripping people off, bro. It's awful. It's terrible. So, okay, let me run it back. This, what you're about to hear, is one of the worst lines I've ever written. Okay?
I wish I did, though. But that's beside.
Oh, wait.
At least, that's what I've gathered. I didn't grow up in the 90s. I wish I did, though. But that's besides the point.
That's terrible. Terrible. Why? I didn't grow up in the 90s, but I wish I did because they had pizza and cereal and cartoons and video games and friends, and none of that exists anymore. None of that exists anymore.
Oh, wait, you got some new people?
Yeah, what's up? We're watching old Row Reviews videos and making fun of them to celebrate my growth to 1,000 subscribers.
Was born in 2002. And I didn't start playing.
Oh, no, we're skipping that.
So, how about I take a look back at Sonic the Hedgehog 1?
See
and
what I'm talking about?
where
The
it all
voiceover.
began.
Sonic the Hedgehog 1 in 1991.
The game starts off on one of the most iconic first levels in video game history, Green Hill Zone. Now, remember when I said Sonic brought a lot of new things to the table? Well, the one major thing Sonic adds is physics, or how the character moves. Sonic 1 is a more speed-focused game. Sort of. You'll see what I mean later. Sonic can gain and lose speed. He can roll into a ball to go even faster.
Yes, I've
And
played
he can
Sonic.
jump a varying height. Nothing about his controls are set in stone. And Green Hill...
Like, to put this into perspective, this was 2019. This style of video was just, like, people made this already. Like, I mean, I guess you have to kind of start somewhere,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I wonder, was this style like big during that time, or?
I would say it was probably a little more popular a few years ago.
Yeah, I would say.
But there were people.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or does the footage? Oh, bleed the message. Yeah. I mean, there are still people that do this kind of thing, but there are people that have been doing it for a long time, like 10, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for me to be doing this, it's like it's fairly dated. Open the door. This might be dog time. Riley, come say hi. I don't know if they can see you. Get up here. There we go. Hang on, get your microphone.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Riley. Show the audience. Hey, Kim. You suck for not being here. Look. Dog. There he is. Go over here. Look. Dog. Yeah, there we go. Don't bite me. You can barely see him. Here we go. IDK. Click IDK. There we go.
There you go.
There he is. Say hi. Look. Okay. Ugh. Dog.exe. Yeah, he crawled out of my TV and killed me. Man, I should have made a video about Sonic.exe and how that traumatized me as a child.
Oh yeah, you could have done that. Yeah, for like a Halloween thing or something.
I've thought about doing like a creepypasta video, but I just never did. Anyway, back to garbage.
Allows the player to see everything Sonic can do. The ground is uneven.
I don't
there
know
are
if the
slopes,
footage is
loops,
slow.
and
I
tunnels that
recorded
force
this
you
on a
into ball
phone.
that make you go crazy fast. It perfectly teaches the player how the game works through its level design organically. And aside from that, it's a really fun and fast-paced level in its own right. I'm sure you've heard this before, but it really is a perfect Sonic level. And then Marble Zone happens. This zone
Okay, that edit was because me and a friend in computer class were like laughing at that clip, so I put it in the video.
Then Marble Zone happens. This zone is such a departure
we were, like,
from
laughing
the
at that all
design
the time for
philosophy
some
of Green
reason.
Hill Zone. It's very slow and kinda boring at times. The layout of Marble Zone is much more linear and confined, and there aren't very many
Marble Zone
opportunities to gain speed. The Green Hill had smoother and curvier
put
level
that back
design
on.
that let the player gain speed. A Marble Zone, however, is very blocky in comparison, resulting in the slower pace. But the
Pace!
worst part about the stage is
I
how
do not
much
have a pop
waiting
filter.
there is. There's waiting for these spike chandeliers to drop, waiting for these spikes to disappear.
waiting.
Hey, we're
I've gotten a
waiting on
lot
block
better at
to cross over lava.
cutting
And
out
yeah,
stutters.
Green Hill had some slow areas too,
Slow.
but they didn't feel intrusive.
I don't know how people
Marble
didn't bully
Zone
me over that.
is all slow, and that's a problem. In
And
fact,
that's a
I'd say
problem.
that
That's
Marble
one of
Zone
my
is
other
almost
favorite parts of this
Mario-like
video.
in its design. Marble Zone is all slow, and that's a problem.
And that's a problem. I played Sonic 1 on my iPod Classic earlier. It crashed in Marble Zone.
Dang.
Well, you played the best part of the game, and then it was just kind of downhill from there.
In fact, I'd say that Marble Zone is almost Mario-like in its design. Oh, you know, Mario, the thing that Sonic was meant to compete
Oh,
against.
you know, Mario.
I bet that if you swapped out
I hate this guy.
Sonic from Mario, the level
This row was the op. He's the op. Problem.
would play out
And that's a
perfectly. Now, don't
problem.
think I hate Mario level design or anything, but in a Sonic
I
game,
Does anybody hate Mario? Like,
Oh,
I don't think anybody does.
it doesn't work well. I don't hate Marble Zone per se. I
You
think
just
it's
talked
mediocre,
about-
but it's
Oh
just
my
crazy
God,
how
bro.
much of a pace breaker this level is. Next up is Spring Yard Zone, and this level isn't too bad. It's definitely more in line with the design of Green Hill Zone. There's
Okay. Do you think this one is more well written? I'd say it this one flows okay. It's just completely unoriginal, and I hate the way I'm talking. Like, I guess the narration is better,
yeah.
but it's not by much.
Yeah, I would say it does. It's a little bit better narrated and edited.
Yeah, if the editing
Yeah.
is, I'd say significantly better. Obviously, there's still like stuttering from me. Reese says, I don't even think most Mario levels are even designed as slowly as Marble Zone. No, because you're right, because in like Mario 1 or 3 or World, you can like go really fast and like jump over everything. So because like with Marble Zone, you're like kind of running into stuff a lot, and it's very closed in.
True.
Yeah. Why am I talking about the level design of Sonic 1? It's video sucks. We should be clowning on how cringe I am.
plenty of speed and lots of places to gain momentum. but there was even a fake Sonic robot in this zone, which I thought was pretty neat. However, Spring Yard just doesn't have the same flow as Green Hill did.
Yeah, 64 is a
Here,
little
there
slow,
are
but
many
it's like
instances where your speed is abruptly halted.
64 you can actually do a lot of cool stuff and have fun in that one.
Yeah,
Okay,
because they were
first-
figuring out 3D right
Yeah.
at that point. So
Mario Galaxy's a little slow as well. Like that one doesn't have like a run button. It's very platforming focused, but it's still a fantastic game.
Some waiting game or slow platforming challenge, and it can be pretty annoying. There's really
Like,
not
I
much
sound
to
out
say
of
about
breath.
Spring Yard.
Like I'm
It's
like
a good enough zone.
really, like,
and it is definitely a
exasperating.
step up from Marble Zone,
just very
but
passionate.
it's not
yeah, I
perfect.
just love Sonic.
All right, what's next?
Oh no,
Oh.
no, dude. Ugh, I can't watch this part, bro. I can't watch this part. But we're gonna watch it anyway. Galaxy's probably the most methodical. Yeah, you know what? That's a better word. Is methodical. Like it's not slow paced. I guess Mario just moves slower, but it is more methodical. I will agree with that. Yeah, I hate this part of the video. It makes me cringe.
Well, you know,
I
to be fair, Labyrinth
Hate
Zone is kind of cringe.
Labyrinth Zone. It is, bar none, the worst zone in this game. And maybe the worst zone in all of classic Sonic. I'm serious. Labyrinth Zone is a water level, and the water here makes Sonic move very slowly. Okay, who thought this was a good idea? The entire concept of Sonic was built around speed, and yet they have that stripped away from him. And it's not like you can avoid the water. The level is filled with it most of the time, so you have to slog through this crap quite often. And due to Sonic's slower and clunkier movement, trying to avoid certain enemies and obstacles underwater is made way
No
more
one
annoying
cares.
this time around. I can't stand this zone.
I can't
It's
stand it.
tedious, it's frustrating, and it's monotonous.
It's
I
monotonous.
don't get why they
You see what I'm
thought this
talking
was
about?
okay. Well,
Like the way I'm like enunciating words. Like it's monotonous, and that's a problem.
actually,
it's
we
terrible.
do have some kind of answer. Sonic's creator Yuji Naka wanted slower levels that allowed the player to quote, catch their breath. Which, okay, I can kind of understand, but this is not how you do it. Normal speed levels already had slow areas that could do
Slow.
that. If you're gonna
Dude, how
have
was
a
I not
slower
bullied,
level-
bro? I forget how much stammering and stuttering there is in my old videos. Like I knew, like I still have that problem today, but I do a much better job of filtering myself when I'm recording. The only one who doesn't mind Labyrinth, I feel like the only one who doesn't mind Labyrinth Zone that much. Marble Zone is worse. It's just like Mario, and that's a problem. It is a problem.
Yeah.
and then make
Big
it fun.
problem.
Afterwards, we have Starlight Zone, and you know what?
I like this
This
one.
zone is great. In fact, I'd say
Great.
it's on par with Green Hill Zone. It has plenty of speed sections
Great.
to gain momentum in, and there are some platforming areas also, but they don't feel intrusive at all. In fact, I enjoy them quite a bit. I especially
enjoy
like
them
the
quite a
seesaw
bit.
gimmick in the zone. It's pretty fun. The visuals here are pretty great as well. I really like the more peaceful nighttime aesthetic here. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
Starlight is definitely one of the better zones in this game. It's not the fastest zone by any means, but it's still a lot of fun. And it goes to show that you can indeed have a good, slower paced Sonic level. But before I talk about
Oh, man.
still a lot of fun, and it goes to show that you can indeed have a good,
A skibidi toilet.
slower paced Sonic level. But before I talk
Yeah,
about
Skibidi
Scrap
toilets,
Brain,
man, let's
I want to
go.
address
Yeah.
the special stages. In order to collect all the Chaos
Don't
Emeralds,
care
get the
about
good
special stages.
Earn system in it's going from a fast level, but the levels did differ.
Oh yeah,
wildly.
I did Sonic Adventure 2 in this video, and I also reused the clip in my Sonic Adventure 2 video where I redeem myself and have a good opinion on a good game. Because Sonic Adventure 2 is really good.
in quality, making for an oddly paced experience. It's the same reason why
Paced
I don't care for
experience.
Sonic Adventure 2 all that much. You're constantly going from a fast level to a slow level over and over again, and I just don't like that.
I just don't
Pacing
like
is
that.
very important to me when it comes to video games. Yuji Naka said that designing Green Hill took half
You know,
a year
whenever I
alone.
record voiceovers, I've always been really obsessive about any mistakes I made. I think at the time I was probably conscious of my stutters, but I just didn't like. I probably didn't do a lot of retakes, and I probably just was worse at editing it. So it's reassuring that you know included obvious stammering like that in your old videos. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious to me now. I don't remember how I like reacted to it at the time. But it was probably a mixture of like myself and also I didn't like technically know how to edit a video or audio, I should say.
So that means it had the most attention put in than any other zone in the game. And unfortunately, it really shows. Again, I don't think Sonic 1 is bad, and it has held up quite well for what it's worth. It's just, for me, the sequels do everything better. And because of that, I don't go back to Sonic 1 very often.
How does this end?
It's certainly a humble start, that's for sure.
It's certainly a humble start. That bro, I hate myself. Don't miss it. Yeah, don't miss it. That's I like that less than my Star Wars video. I think it's probably more well made now that I'm like watching it back to back. There is kind of a noticeable jump, at least in the editing quality, I suppose. But outside of that, not a fan.
Sonic 2.
Sonic 2. Hang on, let me open it in VLC. Here we go. Okay, this is my Sonic 2 review, one of the few times I uploaded 2 mainline videos in 1 month, which I don't think ever happened again. So that's an interesting thing for me. This was over the summer, so yeah. I think this video is even worse because the jokes, as you'll see, are awful. Oh, I was super proud of that one.
But classic right there.
Oh yeah, this right here, classic. I mean, I was real proud of myself. I mean, awful. Well, look at the edge.
I mean,
Look at that.
is that not intentional? Or...
Oh, this was unintentional. I don't remember why that happened because I could have just made a triangle and put a stroke on it. I don't know what happened here.
So, Sonic 1 was just alright in my opinion. Nothing bad, but nothing too great either. Although it did do a lot for the genre, and that's why it's important. However, it still left a lot to be desired. But that's
Legend
what
of
sequels
Zelda
are
logo.
for, right?
I was trying to
A
rip
sequel
off the
allows
Mega
the
Man logo.
developers to improve on what came before it and make something.
What is the background of that intro? You know, it's Sonic, but I don't actually know what level that is. But this background was also used, or would be used in the back, like video background that I would put footage over. I don't really do that anymore, but that was another thing that a lot of reviewers would do, was they would have a colorful banner like behind the footage of their games. I don't do that anymore because it's just kind of, I don't know, unnecessary, or it's kind of distracting to me now.
Left a lot to be desired. But that's what sequels are for, right? A sequel allows the developers to improve on what came before it and make something even better. But you have games like Mother 2 and Zelda: Link to the Past that do this exceptionally well. But they take the best aspects of the previous installment and refine them to create a truly great experience. And on November 21st, 1992,
Oh, I
a
hate
day dubbed Sonic Tuesday.
My Tuesday.
Why did I?
Sonic the Hedgehog
It's
2
not
was
funny.
released worldwide. and
It's
it
not funny,
absolutely
bro.
blew the original
Nah.
out of the water. I first played Sonic 2 as a part of the Sonic Classic
Oh
collection
yeah,
for
I still
DS
have this.
a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Right here. Yep. This is what this was my introduction to classic Sonic right here. So, and I still have it. So it's got all of the classic Sonic games all in one.
And I could never get past the second level. But naturally, I managed to get further along into the game over time, and it wasn't until I played the mobile version for this review where I actually beat it. Sonic 2 really takes that core, speed-focused design philosophy of Green Hill Zone and expands upon it drastically. And because of this, Sonic 2 is a lot faster, and I mean a lot faster. The levels play much smoother this time around, and that allows the player to not only gain a lot of speed, but maintaining it as well.
I don't know, like, I just sound so exasperated. Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I mean.
It's like I'm really exerting all my energy. Like, I remember I would get, like, tired after I would record these, and I still kind of do. But I don't know.
You can end up going very fast in this game, and it's all just so satisfying when you gain a ton of momentum and you just rocket through the stage.
I'm just making fun of
Now, it's
myself
not all
at this
speed.
point.
There's still plenty of platforming here, but luckily they complemented the levels and don't feel out of place at all. The overall
Yeah, a
pacing
lot of
of
people I know
Sonic 2
could
is
not
much
get
more
past
brisk than
Chemical
the first
Plant
game.
either.
The game never feels like it's wasting your time. The zones only
Yeah.
have 2 acts as opposed to 3, and it works out quite well. The zones end just when you want them to, and then you're off to a totally new location. Now, don't get ahead of yourself. The speed and spectacle isn't just handed to you outright. No, you have to earn it. Speed is your reward for playing well, so if you want to have the most fun while playing, well, you need to practice and get better at the game. And then if you're playing
Never had
badly,
any
you'll be
issue with
punished by
Chemical
ending up in
Plants.
slower.
It was that shit in Mystic Cave that I could never get past. That's fair.
Less fun areas.
That one has a
of
lot
level.
of the spikes, I think.
I really like this aspect. It incentivizes the player to keep practicing and improve. Your skill will be rewarded in Sonic 2. In fact, that's what Sonic games are mostly about, retrying stages to get better at them.
Damn it.
Oh yeah, I used to do this.
Correction.
But in Sonic
actually-
2, the visuals are absolutely fantastic. The colors are so vibrant and everything is very detailed. The whole game is just a joy to look at. The backgrounds in this game look amazing as well. They really complement the zones and really bring them to life. My absolute favorite zone aesthetically has to be Casino Night Zone. I mean, just look at this, it's gorgeous. I love the cityscape in the background and the nighttime setting, the vivid color choices, and all the neon signs everywhere. I could go on about the other zones, but we have other things to cover here. One
We have
thing
other
I've
things to
neglected
cover
to
here.
mention is the new character introduced in this game, Sonic's new sidekick, Tails.
Tails!
In the game, Tails will follow Sonic around. However, he's not too helpful. His AI is pretty bad, resulting in him getting hurt and left behind. Although he can grab rings for you and hail on lying around.
Dude, I don't
However, I
care.
take history and runs with it. As you could probably guess by the name, this is a water level. But don't worry, it's much better than the dreadful labyrinth zone.
The dreadful labyrinth zone, dude.
In that zone, you were forced to slog through all the water.
Forced!
But thankfully in Aquatic Ruin Zone, the water can be avoided entirely. That's if you're good enough, of course. Now, water is used as a punishment for playing badly, and I really commend this design. But there's just one problem with this zone. Remember all that BS design I talked about earlier? Well, it's all in full force here. You've got drill bots.
Nah, you're just not good.
What's interesting about Casino Night is that it's not really about gaining
Ugh. No. How did people watch this, bro?
and bumpers everywhere,
don't-
and you can use those to traverse the stage and even gain rings by playing slots. It's a very unique and creative zone that highlights how versatile Sonic's physics are. After Casino Night is when the game slows down a bit. Okay, so remember my last video when I hinted at how you could make a slower level fun? Well, here we have it. Now, these next two levels,
level's
Hilltop
pretty
and
fire,
Mystic
though. The
Cave,
music's
execute
fire,
that
too.
idea perfectly. Now, they managed to pull off less speed-focused levels by offering fun and engaging
Man, I'm just paying
platforming
attention
alongside
to the
a
background
short
music
burst
now.
of speed, which is something Sonic 1 could have benefited from. Hilltop is a very linear platforming heavy stage.
Like I said, I mean,
There's
it's
ski lifts to
perfectly
ride,
fine,
lava
it's
to
just
avoid,
lacking a little
and
bit
even
of
Yeah.
brought back the seesaws from Starlight
energy,
Zone.
I guess.
It's a pretty simple zone.
Oh,
yeah,
I had
but
energy,
I
alright.
think it's a nice
Well, yeah, I
change of
guess.
pace.
Yeah.
Mystic Cave Zone, on the other hand, is way bigger and is sort of maze-like. It too has a higher emphasis on platforming rather than straight-up speed. Oh, and watch out for spikes. This stage is riddled with them. I'm personally not the biggest fan of Mystic Cave, but I do really appreciate how well its level design is executed. It's certainly more memorable than
Oh yeah.
Oil Ocean
Honestly,
Zone.
all my homies hate Oil
This zone
Ocean
isn't
Zone.
bad
This shit is
necessarily,
mid.
it's just so
Worst level in the game,
unremarkable, like,
probably.
you couldn't care less about it. It's honestly just a really boring zone, and it can be pretty confusing to navigate. It doesn't do anything new, and it doesn't do anything memorable. It just exists. Okay, maybe the next zone will be better.
Oh wait, I take that back. This one's worse.
Or not. Metropolis
Or
Zone
not.
is by far the worst zone in this game, and there are many
forgot
reasons
about
as
this
to
one.
why.
Reese says I like Oil Ocean. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's like
Yeah.
it's just it's mid to me. But I forgot about Metropolis Zone. Metropolis Zone is a chore.
Reason 1.
This is my favorite Sonic game though.
When the zone overstays its welcome,
But I don't know
Metropolis
if
has
that.
3
Well, it might
Wait.
be adventure. I don't
Of
know.
all time? Or...
You know, okay, it's between this, Adventure 1, and Generations. Those are, I think, the pinnacles of Sonic, and I think each one is like the best of that respective era, because Adventure was 2000s, late 90s. This was the Genesis, and the Generations is the best modern Sonic game.
acts as opposed to 2 acts, and on top of that, each act lasts about 3 to 4 minutes each, which really makes this zone drag on and on. Reason 2, a tedious and repetitive level design. You constantly come across the same set pieces and gimmicks throughout the same acts.
I was
and it
trying really
begins
hard.
to wear on you. I especially hate these giant screws. You have to stand on them and walk in place in order to...
Where's the R-Ho reviews? Listen. I mean, if you think about it, if you really think about it, that video has the R as the thumbnail. So by the transitive property, the R is in the stream. Anyway.
Anyway.
ride them up, and it's very slow. Seriously, you're only holding one button while doing it. It's just padding, really.
I'm
But
trying to
none
bring
of
the
this
R back.
even compares
I don't
to
think there's a
Reason
timeline
3,
where
the
that happens.
terrible enemy placement. You'll constantly run into enemies with no time to react, and it can be very frustrating. There are even times when you're thrown straight into an enemy with no way to avoid it. That's just bad design.
That's
Oh,
just
and don't
bad
get me
design.
started on these little
Bro,
starfish
I was
guys.
such a dick.
And they hide
But
on
wait
the
till we get to
walls
the
and
Sonic
shoot
3
tiny
review.
little spikes at you.
Oh boy.
It can be pretty hard to avoid them since they're so hard to see. Metropolis is the only zone that I would actually consider bad. Luckily, things calm down a bit with Sky Chase Zone. This zone is just one act, and it involves Sonic and Tails flying around while defeating enemies. It's not much, but I kinda like it. But the best part about it is the music.
Hey, it's good. This won't look good at the pearly gates, bro. Bro, I would let music play for so long in these freaking videos.
I mean, it's good. It's good.
Hey, it's better than the rest of the video. I do love this song though.
I could listen to that for hours. Well, soon after we reached the
For
final
hours.
level, the Winged Fortress Zone. Now this is challenge done right, but there's a lot of tight platforming here, but it all feels fair, and that's how it should be. But the boss fight here sucks though. Yeah, I guess I should talk about the bosses. Like Sonic 1's bosses, there's not much to write home about. They're all just
There's your
ridiculously
R,
easy.
people.
But to give credit where credit is
Out of
due,
focus.
the Casino Night boss is pretty creative, but you have to use Sonic's momentum to attack Robotnik, and it's pretty fun. But just like last time, I'm gonna talk briefly about the special stages.
No, you're not. Actually,
I
yes,
didn't like
because
them in
there's a
Sonic
really terrible
1,
joke in
and
here.
while the ones in this game are an improvement, I still don't like them. Now this time you enter a special stage by activating
I
a
don't
checkpoint
like a lot
with
of the
50
special
rings,
stages to this
which
day.
is a big improvement.
To be
But the
honest.
stages themselves
Any
are
of the
these
games,
half
like-
pipes saying,
I think CDs are pretty good. Sonic Manias was pretty good. But, video game leak of the R. True.
you have to collect a
Put
certain
that,
number
yeah,
of rings
you can,
to
yeah,
get
you
the
can do
Dragon
that.
Ball. I mean, Chaos Emerald. But these stages are pretty difficult
Dude.
since you don't really know
2019, nobody's making Dragon Ball and Sonic jokes. I hate. Why did I put it in? It's dated, bro. It's not funny.
what obstacles are ahead. You basically have to memorize them in order to know what you're doing. I personally don't think they're much fun, but at least the reward is pretty good. If you have all the Chaos Emeralds, then you can turn into a Super Saiyan. I mean, Super Sonic. Oh, come on, they're not even trying. But this ability makes Sonic run a lot faster and jump higher.
We're done with that. I hate it. It's awful. Like genuinely. Now I'm probably not gonna watch my Sonic CD review, but I will say I think at the time that was my best video was a Sonic CD review. I cooled off on the narration, so I'm not doing the weird exasperated over enunciated thing. So Sonic CD review, decent. It's okay. No, watch it. Okay, we can watch a little bit of it, but I'm probably not gonna finish it because we gotta watch the awful Sonic 3 review, bro. Because that is truly the worst. At least for me.
Really? You think it's your worst? Or?
Oh yeah, like I've said this many times on the channel, but like, my Sonic 3 review is my worst video. Just period. It's just really annoying. Like I had this contrarian opinion, and it was just like, I hate it. But the Sonic CD one, it's fine. Like I was pretty proud of it at the time. Have you played Sonic 3 since your review? A little bit. I've thought about covering it again, but honestly, at this point in the channel, just a Sonic 3 review, it's just not super interesting. But it's not a bad game. I was like just like really over exaggerating my take, I guess. I was just being really annoying about it. But this is Sonic CD. So he had this nice intro about the Sega CD.
In December of 1991, the Sega CD was released onto store shelves. This add-on would attach to a Genesis.
This voiceover is kind of what I went with from, here on out, because like it's more calm, but it's not quite as mumbly as it was in the Star Tropics review. So from this video, I basically tried to kind of evolve this narration style, which I still have to this day.
And could play exclusive CD games as well as
I'm better now, but this was the start, I would say.
music. It had a lot more power than the base Genesis, allowing for more detailed graphics and even full motion video, which is something a lot of games decided to take advantage of. However, due to the very high price tag and the overall less enticing game library compared to the Genesis itself, the console ended up becoming a commercial failure. But that's not to say there weren't any good qualities to it. There were several standout games released for it. There were Snatcher, Earthworm Jim, the Lunar Games, Robo Alest, and of course, the Sonic CD.
I was proud of this edit.
Before the development of Sonic 2, a group of Sega employees were. Each state is brimming with color and detail, and it's all a pleasure to look at.
I just don't
The
care
game
enough to
also
watch
manages
these in
to
full.
take level
Okay.
themes from Sonic 1 and transform them into something of its own. The game has such a striking visual style that makes some of the zones look otherworldly almost. There really hasn't been another
Like
Sonic
this
game
one,
that
like at the
recaptured
time, it was paced decently. I felt like I did a decent job with the writing. I thought it was a decent video, and I suppose it, like for what it is, it's fine. Like I would take this over, you know, some of my older videos. I would say like the best video of my first year was Mario 64. That video is okay.
unique visual style CD provides. This praise extends to the soundtrack as well. This game has hands down the best soundtrack of any Sonic game. But to be specific, I'm talking about the Japanese soundtrack. See, when Sonic CD came to America, it got its own soundtrack. It's a bit quieter and has more emphasis on guitar.
I didn't like music at this time, so I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is before your.
This was before I became a music nerd.
Making for a somewhat atmospheric score. I do really like the American soundtrack. It's quite good, but when I compare it to the Japanese soundtrack, there's no
I use some
contest.
adjectives here,
I
though.
love the Japanese soundtrack. It's catchy,
Yeah.
it's upbeat, and energetic. It's just a
It's
fantastic
upbeat, it's
listen all
energetic,
around.
it's
And
catchy.
to me,
Yeah.
it's the epitome of Sonic music. It really does
It
a
is one of
perfect
my
job
favorite
of
Sonic
making you want to
soundtracks.
go fast. Unfortunately, Sonic CD can outright punish you for going fast, which brings me
Punish you.
to Sonic CD's fatal flaw, the level design. It's bloated, it's messy, and towards the end it can get kind of aggravating. The levels don't have much flow at all. There's less focus on slopes and loops, but rather a lot of normal platforming elements. Stages are filled with springs and bumpers, and this results in you getting pushed around when trying to progress. A collision chaos is probably the worst offender of this. There's so many obstacles and set pieces scattered about the zone that are just meaningless. For example, at the start of Act 2, there's a platform
Oh,
hovering
this
above
shit
you,
sucked.
and if you
Watching
get on
this.
it, you can go in a tunnel that ends up launching you nowhere. And there's plenty of other things like this elsewhere in the game, and it just confuses me. It feels like the game is deliberately going out of its way to waste my time, and I really don't like that feeling.
Dude, I was like a huge contrarian at this time, okay? I didn't like Breath of the Wild. I was like, huh, I don't like Breath of the Wild. Like, I don't like it as much as other people. So I made this, like, really snide joke about, like, I don't like walking around in Breath of the Wild. Reese says, I remember I wanted to make a Sonic CD review around 2019, but your review said literally everything I wanted to say about the game. That's interesting. Yeah. I can't remember. I might have had more my own opinion with Sonic CD. I can't remember who I was ripping off. But, you know, like I said, probably my best, actually, it is my best video, like, up until this point. So, yeah.
There are just too many times where I'll raise an eyebrow at a certain design element while playing, and the game ends up coming off as a bit of a convoluted mess. Although things begin to make a whole lot more sense when you realize that Sonic CD doesn't want you to play quickly. This game is primarily focused on exploration instead. See, your goal in Sonic CD is to stop Dr. Robotnik from causing a bad future in each zone, which is how you get the good ending. This is accomplished by utilizing time travel.
I never get the good
In each of
endings.
the zones, there are time travel posts placed throughout. But there are ones that take you to the past, and ones that take you to the future. The past versions of zones feel very primitive and unoccupied, but the bad future is very industrialized and is filled with
Voiceover is so
machinery,
very rough.
while the good future shows both nature and technology existing in harmony. Overall, I think the time travel
Marginally
mechanic
improving,
is
you know?
pretty
Yeah.
You know?
in concept. In execution, however, it doesn't work too well. In order to time travel, you have to maintain speed for a certain amount of time before you can do so. However, due to the often cramped level structure, it can be very hard to accomplish that. But there are specific areas that are intended for time travel, but they're somewhat few and far between. And what's strange about these areas is that when you're playing normally, these areas just end up feeling very out of place. So how does all this tie into getting the good ending? Well, in order to get a good future, you have to track down a generator in the past versions of each zone.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
but when you thing through the levels, Sonic CD, unpolished. But despite everything I've said so far in this video, I still have a lot of fun playing Sonic CD.
That I
It's
still
weird,
do,
I can recognize
like this
and
game a lot.
acknowledge all of its flaws, yet still enjoy it.
despite
I
its
have the
weird
most fun with
quirks.
it when I play it at my own pace. I just run through the levels, time travel whenever, and I have a good time. Even though I'll end up getting annoyed on occasion.
Well, yeah,
I
was
would
it
still
this game
struggle
that
to
had
call
that
Sonic
creepy,
CD
like,
anything
Sonic?
but app.
Like, you remember that
Yeah.
creepy, like,
Yeah.
sound thing? Yeah.
Yeah, it's in like the sound menu,
Yeah.
and it's like this screen of like weird Sonic faces. I'm not sure if that's in the PC version, but
Was that only in the Japanese version? Or I don't remember.
maybe, but I'm pretty sure it was in the original. I don't know if it's on PC, which is the version I played for
Although
this
it is
video.
way better than Sonic 1, that's for sure. It definitely wouldn't hurt to try out the game for yourself, but the 2011 version is only $5, so you don't have much to lose. And hey, if you're a big fan of more explorative 2D games, then you'll probably really like the exploration elements of Sonic CD. And if you are one of those people, then I implore you to tell me why in the comments below. I personally just think the game is incredibly one-sided.
It's in all
and unbalanced.
regions.
It
Okay.
doesn't really
Oh, okay.
compensate for both ways of playing the game. And I understand that Sonic CD wanted to expand on exploration, but it was done in a very obtuse way. I mean, you look at a game like Yoshi's Island, for example.
This was footage from when I was gonna review Yoshi's Island.
Oh.
I have a little Yoshi on my desk. Yeah. Wow. Whoa. Yeah.
That game is still fun when you go through the levels normally. But if you go out of your way to explore and get all the collectibles, it just presents an extra challenge. That's how this kind of stuff should be implemented. Balance is what's necessary. Luckily, the final game in the retrospective does just that. At least, that's what I hear. Next time we meet, we'll be taking a look at Sonic the Hedgehog 3. People say it's the best one in the series, but I really haven't played much of it, so I'm interested to see if it
I
lives up
hadn't
to all
played
hype.
it yet
Oh, okay.
See,
Yeah.
when I made this video.
Thought you were preparing
Nah,
everybody.
not quite yet. Oh man, this shit sucks. Well, that video is okay, but Sonic 3 review, it's really bad. Where is it? There.
Every game.
So, Sonic 3, my least favorite video I've ever made, and I'm just kind of a dickhead in it. I'm just kind of like, this video is really annoying, it's really ass-headed, and I hate it, and it's not good at all.
Every game franchise has that one entry that is commonly considered to be the best in the series. Stuff like Ocarina of Time, Super Metroid, and Final Fantasy VII are good examples
I
of this.
see a retro.
However, there will always be people who disagree and will insist that a different game is the best. But there's something about Sonic 3 that's different. It has a very high status. It's almost always considered the best original Sonic game, if not the best Sonic game, period. Now, I haven't had much experience with Sonic 3 until this
Now
video.
this footage is
As
slow
as you would have
because I had this weird frame rate problem when I put it in. So this footage is slow.
imagined, I came into this game with some high expectations, and who could blame me? I hear nothing but great things about this game. So, does this game live up to the ridiculous hype?
Sonic 3 video with the Fantano flannel true hipster status. Damn right. Full hipster mode.
Alright, you know what?
I hate that
I
it's
can't
so
win my card.
bro. The and then it just goes black. Like, bro, shut up.
Ridiculous hype.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna lay my cards on the table right now. I think this game is kind of overhyped. Do I think Sonic 3 is bad? No, not in the slightest. I think this game is pretty good. It's just not as good as it's sometimes made out to be. So let's discuss the positives and negatives of Sonic 3. Let's begin. First off, when I say Sonic 3 in this video, I'm referring to the full, complete version of the game. Well, originally, the game, but they're soon stopped, and so you team up with Knuckles to stop him. So why am I bothering with story all of a sudden? Well, it's just because the story is much more prominent this time around. It's
That makes me laugh because I sound so defensive.
simple, of course, but the way it's told is pretty great. You slowly see events unfold throughout the game with no dialogue, and there are several cutscenes that make the experience more grand. There are tons of memorable moments in Sonic 3, such as Angel Island Zone getting set on fire, and towards the end of the game, it gets pretty tense. I especially like how each zone cleanly transitions into one another. It really makes the world feel cohesive and interconnected. All these cinematic elements, while minimal, they really make the game more memorable overall, and I really enjoy the added flair. It really feels like you're going on an adventure. And all this is further heightened by the stellar soundtrack.
It really
Now,
feels
it's not
like a
as good as
Sonic game.
You
CD,
really
but
feel like
it's-
Sonic in this game.
This game really makes you feel like Sonic.
still really good.
Dude, okay, I played this.
Have that catching up.
Look
beat
how long
feel
I
that
played this
Sonic-
music.
Sonic owns entirely.
Yeah,
So
Michael
many-
Jackson, blah, blah,
and
blah,
the
blah,
next, it's pretty solid for the most part. But the best part about it is how it perfectly balances speed, platforming, and exploration together.
Yeah.
Most zones are pretty big, but they don't feel big whatsoever. While Sonic CD's zones felt very bloated and over-designed, with Sonic 3's feel dense and thought through. Pathways flow and overlap each other, and exploration is both encouraged and optional. You can play through the zones with the intention of just getting to the goal, but you could also go out of your way to find elemental shields and special stage entrances. I'm personally not a fan of these special stages. You have to turn all the blue spheres into red spheres while avoiding all the other red spheres. These stages are kind of nauseating and can be hard to tell
I
what
still
you're
don't
doing
like them. I'm
since
really
you
bad
move
at them.
automatically and everything just blends it together visually. Although I do like how you access them. You can find them hidden away in all the zones, and you don't need any rings to get in them. As for the elemental shields, they're basically power-ups for Sonic. The fire shield lets you dash through the air and makes you immune to fire. The water shield lets you bounce up and down and breathe underwater. And the electric shield gives you a double jump and attracts rings towards you. These are all pretty fun to means and
Oh yeah,
now,
here
all this sounds great on paper.
we go.
But a lot of the zones in Sonic 3 are just mediocre. Not bad,
Mediocre.
just kind of
Mediocre.
meh. Zones like
Meh?
Marble Garden.
Dude, like I was so like I had such a stick up my ass in this video. It's like, I don't like this. Sega Genesis game from 30 years ago that everyone likes. Like, bro, shut up.
Garden, Mushroom Hill, and Sandopolis didn't really leave an impression on me at all. They're by no means bad. They're fine zones, but they can get pretty dull. Sandopolis especially. It involves a lot of slow block pushing that break the pace of the level. Mushroom Hill has this kind of pace issue as well. You'll constantly have to use these pulleys to access different parts of the zone.
Yeah, that's a
which
little
just
annoying.
involve
There's a
repeatedly
weird-
pressing one button.
There's a bit of a weird pace with Sonic 3 because Sonic and Knuckles was its own game. So when you put them together, it kind of, like, it feels weird when you transition into Sonic and Knuckles. I don't know.
Button over and over and over again. It's just pointless.
Uh-huh.
I also felt like there were several beginner's
Dude.
traps in some of the zones. And for example, in
This
Marvel
clip is straight up just me being bad at the game. It's not even funny. It's not even
Garden,
funny.
there are several hazards that will
Well,
often
actually,
catch
it
you
is
off
really
guard.
funny. Dude, look. I ran straight into that. Like,
Felt like there were several beginner's traps in some of the zones.
beginner's traps.
For example, in Marble Garden, there are several hazards that will often catch you off
Like,
guard.
bro, it was right there. I don't know.
On top of that, I felt like sudden crush deaths were a bit more common
yeah.
in this entry. And it really got on my nerves because I'd have to redo a portion of the zone over again, and it would start to wear on me. Well, that was certainly negative, but those are my honest thoughts.
It is
I'm
an
not
epic
gonna
win.
praise this game for the sake of agreeing with popular opinion. Most of the zones aren't too great. They either leave me feeling frustrated, annoyed, or empty. However, when Sonic 3 gets good, it gets really good. So why don't we take a look at one of my favorite zones in the game, Ice Cap. I feel
Okay,
like
Ice
this is
Cap-
the
Ice
high
Cap
point of the
fire.
game
Ice
in
Cap was
terms of
pretty
level
good.
design. It has this excellent blend of speed and
They call
platforming
glitches
that feels
Eggman's
seamless.
traps.
You'll be sliding
That's
down
pretty
a long
funny.
slope one moment and be challenged with some fast-paced platforming in the next. It also has level gimmicks that not only blend in, there was a pretty inconsistency there. In fact, I think I know what my biggest gripe with this game is.
Oh, yeah?
And that's inconsistency.
Hmm.
There are high points, low points, and some points that fall in the middle. This game has issues and I'm not going to deny them. Occasional dull gameplay, surprise hazards, glitches, annoying
Surprise
level gimmicks.
hazards.
It's all here. Sonic 3 just isn't perfect in my eyes. Is it because I'm inexperienced? Is it because I didn't grow up with it? Or maybe all the hype
I
affected
don't
my
think it's
opinion
that
in me?
deep, pal.
Now,
I don't
that
think it's
could
that
be the
deep.
case. I was a little disappointed with this entry, and that could be my own fault for going in with such high expectations.
I mean, you know, it did teach me a bit of a lesson to not go into things with such high expectations, you know, blah, 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 blah.
That is true. Like maybe the hype did kill it a little bit for you.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But there's also one other cringe line I have to show you.
I agree with. I have my personal favorite entries, and so can you.
And so can you.
Mm.
I have my favorites, and so can you. It sucks. Like, okay, like, it's probably not my worst produced video,
Yeah.
but I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, your like production, narration, like everything is like,
It's like okay.
yeah, I mean, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. I've grown a lot since this one. For sure. But yeah, how does this end?
It's definitely one of the more polished entries for sure. Like, certainly
I'm so
an
all over the
interesting
place. It's like, yeah, it's really good, but also not. And I'm like, okay, whatever, bro.
experience playing this game through. I may disagree with popular opinion, but I still mostly enjoyed myself.
You see what I'm talking about? It's so condescending
Yeah.
and like
A little.
annoying. I'd give it a light 2. Yeah, I'm feeling a strong 0 on this video.
Sonic 3 lays down a great foundation for 2D Sonic, but the game just didn't quite meet its full potential. But there is a game that takes the foundation
Oh, yeah, I
of
talk
Sonic
about Sonic
3
Mania.
and perfects it.
Oh.
I do generally agree with this specific take about Sonic Mania. I appreciate you informing me. I can have an opinion. I like Shadow the Hedgehog game. Hey, I like Shadow the Hedgehog too. Shadow the Hedgehog, fire. Okay? Like, Shadow the Hedgehog, gas.
Unironically?
The neutral path
Okay.
is fire.
Mm.
Like, I like how stupid it is. I like how stupid that game is.
Sonic Mania. This is the
I know,
best
I left things go for
consistently
so
fun
long.
classic style Sonic game in my opinion. It has great level design, fantastic visuals, and an excellent soundtrack. But
Yeah,
I'll go
genuinely,
more
I
in
do
depth once-
think that Mania kind of did Sonic 3 better. But, you know, that's just me.
once the eventual review rolls around in the far future.
We haven't made that yet.
So in the end, I guess the moral of the story is to always keep your expectations in check, no matter the amount of hype.
Dang.
I was proud of how that transitioned into the end screen with the music. Yeah.
So mean. I don't know. It's a little-
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. I hate it. It's really bad. But yeah, that's Sonic 3, my lowest point in my YouTube career. Yeah. Ugh. Let's see. I suppose we should maybe watch the Father of All review.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. I don't want to. I really don't. Rose, yes. You missed the Sonic 3 reaction. Everything's good. We're having a good time. We just watched most of my classic Sonic reviews, and now we're gonna watch. I suppose we're gonna watch the Father of All review.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't, bro. I can't. Oh man, it's so bad. Uncut. I had copyright problems with
Oh
this
yeah.
one. I'm gonna pull out the censored or the blurred version
Yeah.
just in
Yeah,
case.
it's probably best. Yeah.
Just in case. I'm just not ready. Lego Racers review was a good video. It's alright. Like, that one was fun to make at least. Like, revisiting that game from ages ago. I might have deleted it. But I can just pull it up on my channel, I think. Yeah, I don't see it. So I have the regular version, but then I can pull it up on the channel. Uh-oh. Low battery. Damn it. Well, we had a good run. We can keep it going. But yeah. I smacked it with the outdated opinion. Oh man. It's terrible. Ugh.
You did.
I know. I just don't want to listen to it.
You don't want to listen to it?
Oh man, oh dude, man. I doubt I'm gonna watch this for very long. But context, I was new to music, and it was like I still love Green Day. Don't get me wrong, one of my favorites. But they dropped this album. I was really excited about it, and one of the worst rock albums of all time. Let's be honest. And I thought it was good, so I've not watched this in a long time, so this will be a pretty pure reaction. Please get the Age of Calamity micro.
Here we have the lead single, opener, and title track, Father of All. It was released on September 10th, 2019, and the response was mixed. The track itself is very fast-paced and is filled with some very tight instrumentals. However, the one
Sounds like shit.
thing holding it back for a lot of people is the vocals. There's a ton of filtering on his voice to the point where you can't really tell it's a Green Day song. Heck, I didn't even know it was one at first. Like,
That is
on
true.
its own, the vocal performance is fine, but it just sounds nothing like them. But I've grown to like the distorted vocals, honestly. As for the actual meaning
Yeah, I'll
of the
be honest, I
song,
don't even
it's
remember any
pretty
tracks
vague.
from it.
Billy said it in this. The song is a decent length. I was hearing it live. Billy was better than to
Dude, I can't fucking watch it. I can't watch it. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Oh god. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you liked Father of All your first time, how did you feel about 9? Interesting question. So, 9 is 9 is the ninth album by Blink-182, a contemporary of Green Day. I think I got into Blink a little later. Like I didn't love them at first necessarily, but once I started to get into them, I was apologetic towards California, but I did not like 9 when I first heard it. I think I might have rated it like a 3 out of 10 at first, maybe a 2. I don't really remember, but like I did hate it on impact, but it just kind of grew off of me. Like I began to hate it more and more as time passed. Father of All, I liked it first, but it was mainly because I didn't have a lot of like musical context. I didn't know what it was pulling from necessarily. So I just thought it was like, yeah, this is pretty good. Like I did have criticisms in the video, but yeah, like over time I was like, yeah, this album probably not great. And then I did eventually re-listen to Father of All, and it affirmed that it was awful. Like it just sounded completely different. Like I could just kind of see through it. Savior's much better. Even though that's still not like a great project necessarily.
Father of All is Oh Yeah. And if you think that's a dumb name, which it is, it was originally called Bulletproof Backpack. Headbang, not as in your face as some of the other cut. To me is a more traditional. This sounds like something from the trilogy, but the good songs off the trilogy, not that.
Yeah, I I defended some of the trilogy at the time, but now I really only think there's like 2 good songs on the trilogy. This video, I will say, this video did bring me back from a hiatus. This was pure 100% uncut cock. Yeah, the marketing was crazy because they'd be like, yeah, man, this is real rock. We're bringing real rock back. And then it sounds like this. And it's like, dude, you can't be doing that. You're Green Day. You made American Idiot and Dookie. Okay? You can't. you you can't be doing this.
Yeah, it's just
It is sad.
It's just sad.
Like, okay, what's a legacy band that's still good?
That still plays today?
No, like that still makes new music and is still good. Like in this realm of like alternative rock. Foo Fighters, I would say, still make some pretty decent music.
Yeah.
Weezer can, but they just don't sometimes. Yeah. And although, you know, the last Green Day, Saviors, it's not really that bad. It's just, like, okay. It's, like, fine. Radiohead, sorta. I mean, yeah, with the Smile. Like, I don't really listen to the Smile, but, like, close enough. But they were more experimental anyway. Like, in a way that a band like Green Day, Blink-182, Weezer, they're not making these, like, electronic soundscapes. Like obviously they're gonna be able to like continue to make non-commercial music like farther into their career, because Radiohead, I mean, they were like a pop rock band at first. Then they became more experimental. New My Bloody Valentine is so good it'll never release. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was trying to think like contemporary bands that are still like solid. I can't think of too many. It's hard to say.
Interviews, they don't really know what to say, and their answers sound pretty disingenuous. I think the band wanted to just cut loose, experiment, and make something.
Experiment. Actually, the Slow Dive album was pretty good. I did not listen to it, but I do like Slovaki, whatever it is. Not my favorite dream pop, though. I'm more into Cocteau Twins, but they don't make music anymore.
Weird. I try not to think of the album as a low effort middle finger to the label.
It is.
But more as a weird, dumb, offbeat experiment that really shouldn't be taken too seriously. And they tried some new stuff, and I think it worked out most of the time. I doubt people will really hold this in high regard in the coming years.
Nope.
Granted, I'm not either, but I'm just glad it wasn't offensively bad. There's also the fact that they actually stuck with making punk rock music, considering...
No, it's not, dude. No. No, it's not. Oh, man. Like, I dislike like Fall Out Boy for going like electro pop or whatever.
Now
like I say that here.
Rock bands have transitioned into pop, which really gets on my nerves. I do look forward.
Okay, to be fair, it's usually pretty bad. I think the only, like, in this scene of music, I would say the only good examples of that is Paramore.
Yeah, Paramore.
Paramore After Laughter, their best album, period, straight up. I love it. Like, I didn't like. And Webcam's dead.
Dang.
Man. That sucks. Can I delete this? Can I hide it? Okay, yeah. So, like, what am I trying to say? Yeah, Paramore, best example. And I would say Bring Me the Horizon as well.
Yeah, they've been popping off.
Yeah, they've gotten way more successful with their more pop transition. And I'm trying to think of anyone else. I'd say those are the two main ones that come to mind that were good. Like in kind of the emo, you know, pop rock lane. Those are really the only major examples. But then you have, yeah, I think Paramore had the best shift to a new sound. Yeah, and I think it's due in part to, like, they were always pop.
Yeah.
Like, Riot is a pop punk album. It's very it's very poppy. It's very focused on hooks and stuff.
I guess it's just a little device because they never really returned back to that punk.
Well, This Is Why was rock, but it wasn't pop punk.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of rowdy.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of This Is Why for a few reasons. I thought it was kind of bland. But there
Yeah.
are songs on it that I really like.
Yeah, you did listen to their latest album, right? Or
This is why.
oh yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. It's like they did Brand New Eyes, which is also a pop punk album. Like
Mhm.
it rocks.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But it also has like The Only Exception on it.
Yeah, that's a good song. I love that.
Yeah, I love that song too. But
Yeah.
like that's like I hear that shit in Walmart. Like I hear that in stores. Gotta go now. Had a lot of fun though. Glad you did. I will see you later, Reese. Glad you showed up. But yeah, like you had that song, and then you had the self-titled, which is a pop album.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
It's
pretty
basically a pop album because it has like "Ain't It Fun," I love that song, and "Still Into You," that's a pop song, but it's good.
Mhm.
And then they did "After Laughter," which went farther into the synth pop thing, and yeah. But then you have like Fall Out Boy doing garbage electro pop music, and then you have like Weezer making some attempts at pop, and then kind of Blink-182 with 9. Hard to say, but like it was basically a pop album, kind of. It had a lot of sequenced instrumentation. But yeah. But yeah, it's been a long, well, not that long, well, half a decade.
I would say that's a while. I mean,
Yeah.
we were high school, like,
Mhm.
so
Yep.
been some years now.
Yep, and there's still a long road to go. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun making these videos, even if I do clown on my old stuff. It's still like it got me to where I am today. So I can't hate on it too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we could close out by watching the Mario 64 review.
Which was a good one.
This was actually, let's watch my biggest achievement.
Oh,
This one's going out to all.
yeah.
Spork says, I remember first talking about YouTube with you. Good work getting where you are now. I appreciate that a lot. Because I do, yeah, you were around for the creation of it. So it's really cool. Glad you pulled through in the chat. But yeah.
All the ladies.
Kind of pissed off that the webcam died. The battery, it doesn't
Back
last
in
long
December
enough.
of 2020, I decided to watch Sailor Moon sort of on a whim. I'd thought about watching the show for a while, but I wasn't sure how much I'd really enjoy it. Then it became the first anime I ever finished. Yeah, I may have watched plenty of anime beforehand, but I never actually finished them. Not a single one. But something
When
about
did I make this? It was like 2021.
Oh, so it was.
Yeah. Man, oh, you know what? I think I remember talking to you about this video
Yeah.
in class once.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you asked me about some
Yeah.
stuff in this video. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were like, oh, or like I was like looking at like pictures, and I was like, man, this has like a really rich aesthetic, and we were just like talking back and forth. So you kind of helped make this video come to life, like, in a lot of ways.
Sailor Moon just kept me invested the whole time, which is weird considering
Like the jumping quality of just the narration is just like this. This I would consider still a very good video.
how repetitive it can be. But I feel like the overall
It's just a
stories,
clean
humor,
voiceover,
and the
nothing-
amazing cast
Yeah.
of characters is what had me
It's,
coming
you
back.
know, it's
the
easy
show
to
has
listen
such a
to.
friendly vibe to it. I absolutely love the slice of life elements of the show. It astonishes me how much these characters really feel like they belong together. Now, when I was watching that very first episode, I instantly knew that this show was something special. Not only did Usagi's character give off a good first impression, but there was something that stuck out to me above everything else, that being the visuals. Sailor Moon is one of the best looking animated shows I've ever seen, and it's definitely my favorite looking anime in general. When I was thinking of ways
I would
to
say that's still the case.
Still, really?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, there's not much else that compares too much necessarily. Like obviously, I made the video about Cowboy Bebop, and Evangelion looks really good as
Yeah.
well. Like, there's plenty of like great looking anime, but in terms of just aesthetic,
Yeah.
this is still my favorite.
to talk about the show without reviewing the series itself. This idea did come to mind, but I wasn't sure if there was enough to discuss. However, the more I thought about it, more things came to mind, and I realized that the aesthetic of Sailor Moon is truly something to behold. But before we get into the anime, I think it's important to look at the source. In 1991, Naoko Takeuchi began writing and illustrating the manga for Sailor Moon, and the artwork was pretty damn amazing. Sure, some of the panels were your standard manga fare, but
Oh
when
yeah,
you
I
get to
didn't
see
curse
more
in the old
detailed
videos.
art, holy crap. I love how lightweight the line work is. It really adds to the elegance of it all. It's very pretty. There's so many excellent panels I've come across that really showcase the beauty of Sailor Moon. But the manga isn't afraid to exaggerate either. Takeuchi will use wacky facial expressions a lot of the time for comedic purposes and such. And the general character designs are a tad more angular than they are in the anime, but I still really like them. But one thing I'm not the biggest fan of is some of the colored art they did for the manga. It's not bad at all, but the way it's shaded looks kind of plasticky.
So you would
like,
say
it made me want
you
to get the
still
book
prefer
for
like
sure,
the
but
anime
it's a bit rough in my
version
opinion.
of the art.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think the original anime, like art is just the best the characters ever looked. Like, honestly.
Opinion. I
would
also
say, yeah,
think
the manga
Takeuchi's
is
art
very,
shines the
like,
brightest in black and white.
shoujo, you know,
There's something about those
established, like,
thin, pretty
so the
outlines
shoujo
shines
look,
better
you know,
without
like-
color.
Yeah.
But once it
very
comes to the anime,
elegant
it's the
looking,
polar
yeah.
opposite.
Oh yeah.
This
Well,
show
the show is a little bit
absolutely
more
beautiful.
A
No
little more
hyperbole.
cartoony.
Yeah,
It's so
cartoony,
full
down
of
to
color,
earth,
so
yeah.
full
Yeah.
of life, so vibrant, so saturated. It's amazing. They brought Sailor Moon to life and then some. It's such a striking show to look at. Like I stated in the beginning of the video, the visuals popped right out at me once I flipped on that very first episode. I mean, just look at Usagi's room alone. The bright pink hue coating everything, along with the other complementing colors. It goes to show what the anime aims for, despite it being such a small area. I love the direction they took with the environments and backgrounds throughout the whole show. It's all very watercolor influenced, which I like a lot. I mean, I doubt it actually is, considering that it was made with cells, but still, the influence is most definitely there. The colors really do it for me. A lot of the ones used are very soft and light, creating something that is super easy on the eyes. I honestly just love looking at the show in general. A lot of the time I can look back at a certain frame and think, wow, that's gorgeous. A lot of the backgrounds are just paintings in and of themselves. You could probably hang half of this stuff up in a museum and pass it off. I also think the fact that the show was made with cells adds a lot of character to the visuals. The anime from the 80s and 90s has a very, very distinct look to it, and Sailor Moon is no exception. Pair that with beautiful and sometimes flashy visuals, and you end up with something
Yeah, it's
truly
still a good
special.
video. You know, I
One
don't have
thing
much
also
to say.
like about the way
Yeah.
the backgrounds
Like,
are colored is how a lot of the time they're centered around
It's still
just
good.
one color. Take this one for example. It's all blue, but then all the other colors are either various shades of blue or another corresponding color like green. This goes for literally everything else too. In fact, all the different times of day kinda have their own color palette. During the day, backgrounds have fairly standard but still soft colors. The evening sky is pink, and during the night it's all blue, not black. And that's yet another thing. The show doesn't use very much black in the backgrounds. The only time really dark colors are used is when a big villain is the focus. But other than that, the show stays very colorful and breezy. I think this all creates a sort of a cozy feeling when watching. This art style pairs so well
See,
with
I
the
like
show's
that
slice
edit
of
there.
life elements. I love when you get to
When
see
I
these characters. This art style is very colorful and breezy. I think this all creates a sort of a cozy feeling when watching.
like cozy, and then she hugs a pillow. Like I like doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
This
Not
art style
to
pairs so
stroke
well with the
my
show's
own
slice of life elements.
rod.
I love when you get
But,
to
you
see
know.
these characters
I
just
don't think
interact
that's
and
how
hang
you're
out, and
supposed
this
to say
little
it.
visual style.
That's the way I said it. Okay. Stroke. What is it?
Stroke my own ego or something like that. I don't know. Like
Nah. Rod is way funnier, bro.
stroke my own rod.
Stroke my own rod. Listen, I don't mean to jerk myself off, but I'm like the greatest YouTuber of all
Kyle
time.
only elevates these moments further. It's just so unique. I can't think of any other
How many
anime
views
or
did-
show for that
does
matter
this have? I
that
think-
matches this look and
Well,
feel.
this is your biggest.
It's truly
video,
one
Yeah,
of its kind.
almost
It's funny, too, since a lot of
38,000.
anime from this time can get shit on
Pretty-
for having
pretty
animation
crazy.
mistakes and the like, but Sailor Moon looks top notch all the time. One of my favorite looking parts of the show has to be this bit where
Love
Usagi
this.
is walking around the
Look at
city
that.
during a rainy night.
It just
And man,
looks so
it looks
nice.
crazy good. The blues, the greens, the lighting, and just the general vibe are fabulous. However, these
I should
pretty
probably get a
backgrounds aren't
webcam,
all
huh?
there is to the
If
show's
I keep
visuals,
doing
of
this
course.
stuff.
So how about we touch on the character designs? I
Put
mentioned
one
how
right
the
there.
manga designs were more angular and exaggerated with the longer fingers and triangle smiles. But once the manga was adapted into anime, the artists took these designs and rounded them out. I vastly prefer the way the characters look here. Since the anime has a very soft look to it, softer character designs fit really well. The girls' faces are noticeably rounder eyes, rounder cheeks, shorter fingers, etc. Sure, it's more simplistic, but I find it much more appealing. Plus, the roundness sorta makes them look cuter, I guess. It feels weird as hell saying that since they're like 14 years old, but you get what I
Wait,
mean.
guys, I know we gotta watch. We gotta watch the we gotta watch the Nostalgia Critic Sailor Moon. Yeah. Anyway, the name Masaru Ando still brings chills to this day. It's true. People still comment about it, and they won't stop.
Anyways,
Where is
there's
that
also
part?
another thing I want to mention that's a bit odd.
Here
but
it is.
I find it interesting. Throughout most of the show,
Here it is,
aside
bros.
from season 5, there's like 2 character design styles that they shift between. I think the changes mainly lie in the shape of their faces and eyes. It's hard to describe with words.
The
but these
other
comparisons
style.
aren't to show at
It's
all.
actually
This other
Masaru
art
Ando.
style is definitely even more simplistic, but it doesn't look bad at all. I can't really find information on these things, but my guess is that it was a different team who did these particular episodes.
Officer,
Like,
I mean audience.
so the art was more simple.
Wait, have you seen
However,
the
the
Doug
actual-
Walker freaking Sailor Moon review?
Maybe snippets, but I don't think I've seen the
Dude.
whole thing. No.
Dude, okay, I know how we're gonna end this stream. Okay, y'all are gonna have to change your profile pictures to Doug Walker because we're gonna watch some Doug Walker. Okay. Oh no! We dropped Sonic Classic Collection, 4 games in 1 Nintendo DS. Man, I got that at a retro game store years ago.
Actual animation quality is the same, so that's good. But then in season 5, they completely stuck with the more detailed designs. This factoid really doesn't mean much to the show
So,
itself, but
This
I think it's
part
kinda
people
neat.
saw and were just like, wait, no, it's not true in November. Too bad. Too bad. We're going to watch it. Yeah, I didn't take the pledge yet. You people made that mistake.
I also brought up how expressive the characters in the manga can be earlier, but now that we're dealing with
Yeah, so people
full-blown-
saw that clip of me talking about the other art style.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just like, the other art style is by a guy named Masaru Ando. And there were a lot of other artists. You can actually tell which artist did what by looking at the different spreadsheets online and stuff. It's like, bro, it was fine the first time, but the 30th time or the 20th time is just stop. And now I'm getting people telling me about the pink hue is actually from aging film or something. I'm like, yeah, I know. This was made years before people discovered that.
animation, that stuff really comes to life. Every single character in Sailor Moon, human or not, is expressive as hell. I absolutely love how someone can switch from their normal face to something so absurd in less than a second, yet have it flow perfectly. It's always used for more comedic effect, and it's fantastic. It just adds this remarkable amount of bounce and charisma to the show that really breathes life into this outstanding cast. The show isn't afraid to get kind of
Great
wacky,
wording.
so all this squash and stretch is a very good thing. It's super fun to watch, and it makes
Yeah, I mean,
for
this
a
is
lot
still one of
great
my
moments.
favorites.
But the expressiveness
Just like not only because like it blew up, but also I do like it. Like I do think, you know, like I've made better videos, like my recent one also. My Persona 5 video is still my favorite one that I've made. But yeah, this one is still a good one.
doesn't just shine during comedic bits, but during dramatic moments too. There are moments where you can really
you
feel a
went
certain
to
character's
Future Funk
distress,
as well.
and a lot of it
Yeah.
has to do. You could definitely pull off a lot of this stuff today. Sailor Moon's visual style really is like nothing
This edit
else.
here with
So much
the
flair
music
and
drop,
detail,
it's
it's
kind
hard not to
of
love.
fire.
It's really transcended its place in time and still resonates with people now. Case in point, Future Funk.
Like, come on, this was fun to edit, you know. Like this one's allowed to be a little long, but now
I
it's
know
not.
the wide world of vaporwave and its various subgenres can be seen as a joke to some people. But yeah, I'm unbelievably glad that I decided to give Sailor Moon a chance. It
The classic
unexpectedly became
sentimental
the one
outro.
anime that held my attention through 5 whole seasons. The characters, the stories, the
Gotta
humor,
have it.
all of those things are
Like
outstanding
even my
aspects of
new
the
video,
show.
I kind of did that a little bit. Like it's just what I do, you know.
But Sailor Moon's aesthetic shined incredibly brightly and became
Yeah,
a
it just gives,
massive
like,
part of
nice
my
cinematic
enjoyment.
Yeah,
I
you
I feel
know,
like
you know,
saying,
yeah,
oh, Sailor
yeah.
Moon has a nice
Yeah.
art style severely undersells it. The backgrounds, the expressiveness, and the awesome outfits are integral to the feel of the show. A colorful, magical show that I will never forget.
Still watch it. Like it's a nice anime to just put on, cause like it has like plot, but it's not like super crazy or anything. It's more standalone episodes. Very cool.
Sussy balls.
Hell yeah. But
Inez?
okay. We know what we're doing. This is abysmal. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, chat. Are we watching this? Are we seeing this?
14 years old. 14. Damn! Years old. Now, before any of you find this incredibly creepy, let me make one thing perfectly clear. The age of consent in many parts of Japan is, in fact, 13 years old. Now you may find it incredibly creepy. And yes, there's a lot of fine print to that law that evens
Dude,
it out a bit, but
It's
there's
so
just as much.
weird because it's like, bro, they weren't drawing this for sexual reasons. I think they just wanted to draw like, or the creators wanted to draw like pretty girls, and then, like this says more about Doug than it does the animators. So do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I can
It's
see
like-
that, yeah.
Like,
Much fine print
just
that
watch,
evens it
just
back
watch
into
this.
kinky territory again. For example, sex between 13 to 17-year-olds can only be done with other 13 to 17-year-olds.
That's good.
However, that's only sex. Groping, hand jobs,
Yeah, I
blowjobs,
don't
and whatever
think
else
you
your
have to
preferred
go into
imagination
this.
can come
Yeah,
up
it's
with
so
is
weird,
all
bro. It's
perfectly
so
legal.
weird.
That's bad.
However, they have cracked down on human trafficking, forced prostitution, and other illegal
Going
activities
into
people in
human
that age
trafficking on,
That's
on
good.
Sailor
But
Moon
that doesn't
movie.
stop people from
Dude.
creating kinky establishments like
Oh
the
my
Sexual
God.
Harassment Corporation, where you pay to molest girls in
Oh,
school and
okay.
business sets, and is totally
This would
100%
make more sense if it
legal.
was like a
Can I go
like a
now?
shonen or like another
So,
show that actually
yeah,
did that.
It's
I
not
guess when you come
sexual, there's
down to
nothing
it,
about
is
it that's
just
sexual,
cultural
bro.
differences.
Fan service, you know,
I mean,
like-
sexual
so
urges in young
weird,
people
bro.
does start well before 18. My personal problem is, like media in most cultures, it doesn't try to help younger people understand sexuality, but rather exploits it. Rather than educate young people about sex, it's honestly just easier if we can make money off of it. But, of course, all this talk about Sailor Moon being a sexy 14-year-old pinup is all building up to one important question.
I don't know, because weren't there also like
Given-
male like transformations that were like that? Like other shows did, like can't think of it, like maybe like shows like Saint Seiya or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. Love the thorough Japanese age of consent law breakdown. It's so weird. Like this guy, like okay, Doug Walker, very influential creator. You know, people like me probably wouldn't exist without him. But this shit is so weird. like most of the episode is him like dunking on like the first episode, and then he gets into this whole rant, and it gets worse. Okay, it gets worse.
This information, why did I still put her in the top 11 hottest anime women list? I didn't know! I swear I didn't know! I mean, look at the way they're drawn, man!
Look at the way they're drawn. Oh yeah, dude, I just can barely contain myself, man. Yeah, it's like it's so hard to tell. Like, dude, they're children.
Wait, that's real? He put her on.
Yes. And then he like deleted it. Did he delete it? I don't know. Some Rose might know. He might have deleted it. Oh man. Oh dude.
At the very least, late high school.
The friend I went to too many games with, like, we were like, I got some Sailor Moon figures. They're up there, some of them, and they were like, "You gotta get him to sign one," and I'm like, "No, dude, I can't do it."
Wouldn't you have made that guess? Come on, look at the way
No,
they're
I
showing it
wouldn't
off.
have.
I swear, officer. I mean, audience. I had no idea.
Officer,
that real
I mean
age-
audience.
I mean, you might be saying to yourself, "Oh, what? Did you grow up watching the show? Did you pay attention to it at all?" No, I didn't. I mean, I watched it, but I didn't really listen to it. I too was 14 at a time, and
Dude,
maybe I viewed it for different reasons.
bro. Okay, this is the worst. This right here, guys, this is the worst. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. This is abysmal. Okay, this skit right here, skits very big back in the day. Okay, but this, I mean, you just gotta see it for yourself.
Work.
I am Sailor Moon, champion of justice, and on behalf of the moon, I will punish you.
Oh my god, this is awful.
Turn that back on.
Who said that?
I did.
Oh man.
Penis?
Yeah.
He did.
You can talk. Penis?
P did.
Yeah.
You can talk.
All pieces talk around this age. It's the greatest secret no woman knows about, but wouldn't be the least bit shocked to discover.
Like,
Well,
why?
despite what a terrifying discovery this is, I'm still not gonna watch this show.
It doesn't matter what you think. From now on, I'll be calling all the shots. You're gonna see
dude.
everything in a whole new light.
What are you talking about?
Look at that show again. Looks damn good now, doesn't it?
Wow. There's more to this show than I thought.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm a mentally capable male. I won't let my penis call all my decisions for me.
Turn that back on, or I'll shoot where the sun always shines.
No, I won't.
Excuse me, I have some memories I need to repress.
Dude, it's so bad. I can't even believe it, bro. I can't even believe it. It's it's insane. Okay, I'm gonna close out with another good tidbit.
Oh yeah. There he.
Yep. Okay. So this is a video about or this is a video of me and a friend at too many games. meeting Doug Walker, the man you just saw. This was 2021, I believe.
Button and this one. Yeah, I have it recording already. So you know. Okay.
It's just the raw recording. This is one of the greatest moments of my life.
Thank you for good. Absolutely. Take care, man.
I feel like that's something I can work.
The canon event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Gotta do in the middle.
Oh, okay. So, do you know his wall? Like his review of The Wall by Pink Floyd?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, probably the worst YouTube video I've ever seen. Like, actually, if you want a really bad, if you want to watch a really bad, like high production value YouTube video, watch Nostalgia Critic's review of The Wall by Pink Floyd. It's one of the weirdest things you can watch. It's insane. So, my friend took a vinyl copy, the sleeve, and asked him to sign it in the style of the Pink Floyd logo. And he was in on the joke. Like, like to be fair, he was in on the joke. He took it pretty good because he knows people hated that video.
Yeah, he's a good sport. You know, he's able.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, there are some.
Dude, you kind of sounded like Pink Floyd. Yeah, like the wall.
Yeah. So this is truly incredible. Whoops.
I never realized that.
Alright, can we get like a picture?
Hang on. Yeah, let's just kind of, we'll screenshot it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, take yourself back, you know. My friend Fuseball, he couldn't make it, but he really loves your videos.
Oh, cool.
So can you say hi to him real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
Fuseball.
Fuseball, I'm glad you love my videos. I love that you love my videos, so I love you. Even though I never met you, I love you that much.
Dude, like I was right there. He looked at me, bro. Okay. Like I barely remember it. Like I don't remember it as like a POV memory. Like I just remember it as an event that happened, you know, because it's so surreal. And I've watched this recording so many times. It's like it's ridiculous, but
yeah, he gave that look to you.
Yeah, it's crazy. So just gonna play some nice music to round out the stream. I don't think too many people are watching right now, but I appreciate everybody for showing up. This was a good time, and it's pretty surreal to see the growth. You know, it took a long time, but you know, this recent video just made me reach that goal, and more to come. Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna reach 2,000 sooner than you think, probably. Yeah.
We'll see. I do look forward to it, though. But yeah. Yeah, shout out Star Tropic, shout out Sonic the Hedgehog, shout out all my fellow YouTubers in the chat that have made content alongside me. Thank you, Josue, for joining me and doing artwork for the channel. Shout out freaking Funny Lizzie on Twitter for drawing my avatar. Shout out everybody who watched. Just yeah, here's to 1,000 more and many more. Yep. We're gonna reach the top. And yeah, like as much as I feel kind of, you know, like as much as I hate my old videos, they got me to where I am today. And you know, wouldn't have it any other way. But I'm glad I've kind of evolved past that style, because there's more there's more to written content than just reviewing a game or whatever, you know. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to do. Next video, my plan for it's a little different. It's a little different, but I hope you guys enjoy whenever that ends up coming out. So, yeah. I suppose that's it. Do you want to make any closing remarks?
Yeah, I'll just say subscribe to World Reviews. He's gonna be cooking up some more cool videos for you guys.
Oh yeah. Cook up.
Yeah.
We're cooking up. Alright, I don't know who's still watching, but I appreciate anybody who's still watching right now. But the song still has a minute left, but I think we're gonna call it here. A shout out Friend Zone, a shout out Cloud Rep, shout out Lil B, shout out ASAP Rocky, shout out Clams Casino, shout out Friend Zone, shout out all of that, shout out Shoegaze Music, shout out Gene Dawson. Stream that shit up.